Everyone treats summer like it owes you happiness. Long days, pool parties, your best life on a loop. So what does it mean when you feel worse? The summer blues are real. It's why summer is one of the busiest stretches of the year for people starting therapy. Therapy is not only for when you're in crisis. Growth therapy is for all the moments when you decide you want more. More support, more clarity, more tools. Mental health isn't a destination you reach. It's something you build, and Grow makes that easier. Grow connects you with thousands of high-quality licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person sessions, nights and weekends. You can search by what matters, like insurance, specialty, identity, or availability, and get started in as little as 2 days. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Grow helps you find therapy on your time. The therapist you want takes your insurance on Grow. Grow accepts over 125 insurance plans. Sessions average $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/booknow today to get started. That's growtherapy.com/booknow. growtherapy.com/booknow. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan.
If your fashion wish list lives rent-free in your brain, you need to be on Poshmark. With Poshmark, you're shopping millions of listings from thousands of closets, each curated by someone with their own style. Vintage finds, designer pieces, and everyday staples all in one place. Search for your favorites or let the discovery come to you. Poshmark makes it easy to find what you actually want to wear at prices that feel like a quiet win. Download the Poshmark app today and use code PODCAST10 when you sign up to get $10 off your first purchase.
Hey, I'm running out to drop off a stack of letters and packages. Need anything shipped while I'm gone?
Save the gas. Stamps.com lets you print postage and schedule pickups right from your desk. Sync your contacts into the address book, get detailed accounting insights, and get notified the moment your certified mail is delivered.
All from my desk?
All from your desk.
Join the 4 million businesses using Stamps.com right now with code PODCAST and get your free welcome gift. Stamps.com, code PODCAST. Taxes and fees apply.
Welcome back to Still a Part of Us. We just had a wonderful conversation with Jenna about her sweet son, Noah, and what a cutie. Like, I just so happy to know about him and his little personality, and so grateful that you've taken the time to come and chat with us again. So thank you again, Jenna.
Yeah, thank you for letting me share.
Yes, for sure. And it's a heart-wrenching one, you guys. I would highly recommend listening to it. It is hard, yeah, but it is a good story to know about Noah. So can you tell us a little bit as a recap? Can you tell us what happened to Noah when he was born, and at the time of this recording, how long ago that was?
Sure. So Noah was born on November 4th, 2009. So he'll be 17 this year. And he died in his sleep while he was taking a nap at daycare at just 11 months old. So he passed away on October 10th, 2010. So almost 16 years ago.
Yeah. And that is it is so it was so hard, you guys. It was such a
Yeah.
hard, and to, like you said, when we were just talking offline, and you had mentioned it's so weird to just think how, like, it's still surreal to tell his story and have it be what it is, and
Right.
it,
That this is like life. This is your life.
this is your life now. And
Right.
so, as you had mentioned in your other our other episode, you and your husband grieved very differently, it sounds like.
Yep.
And you mentioned he went back to work within a couple weeks. Can you tell me about how you guys navigated that? Was there any sort of, there are differences, but was there any kind of misunderstanding about those differences? Because, grief and grieving with somebody next to you it's a new experience for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I remember like very early on, like honestly, like the week after he died, maybe a lot of his friends were in town, from out of state. And 'cause he's from Connecticut and we live in Minnesota. And they flew in and they wanted to take him golfing. And I remember being like, You could go golfing right now. Like that to me felt like a joyous thing that you do to have fun. And I'm like, we're not having fun right now.
Yeah, yeah,
This is like we're in like the lowest of lows. And I remember like kind of thinking like this sounds so terrible to say, but I remember kind of thinking like, are you not like that sad then? Like that you could just
yeah,
like go do that? Because like there's no way I could do that.
yeah.
I could not go do anything right now. So I remember that being kind of like the first thing where I was like, and he was like, no, I need to get out of this house. I cannot sit in here anymore. And I need to like, I know I can't take my mind off of it, but I like need to do something to like try a little bit. And that was his way of, like he needed more distractions where I was like, nothing will distract me. Like this
Yeah.
is the distraction. And so I actually can't do anything else. And it was okay. Like I wouldn't say I actually think our grief brought us like as close as we could
Mhm,
possibly be
mhm.
together, even though we grieved very differently. It wasn't anything that caused like fights or arguments.
Yeah,
I just didn't understand. And then the things I needed to do, he didn't really totally understand. But I think
gotcha.
we were just both very like gave each other grace to like navigate it the best way that we could. And I think what really worked for the two of us is to like we both like we needed to pour ourselves into something else.
Mm,
And so we like together decided that we wanted to create a foundation in Noah's
yes.
memory. And so that was like something that we did together and we did everything together for that. And so I think that was kind of our way of like figuring out how to like, okay, so you might grieve differently over here and I might grieve differently over here and we might need different things along the way, but this is like this one thing that like we both agree on is really important in our way of of how we want to honor Noah and remember him. And so I think doing that together was
Yeah,
really helpful, but I had to like learn through therapy that like the way he was doing things was okay and the way I was doing things like there's not a right or wrong, right?
right.
Which you learn and after the fact, but like when you're going through it, you kind of feel like your way is the only way.
Yeah,
And so it took me some therapy to to learn to learn that there's and now again I know so much more, right? And I've walked this journey with so many other families, unfortunately,
yeah,
but just to know that there is no one way, there is no right or wrong way. It is like truly what you can do in that moment and like what feels good to you on a day-to-day basis.
yeah. You do have to just give yourself grace and other people around you because you're like, you should be devastated. Like I remember thinking that I was like, I am devastated. How are
I
you
am,
people like
yeah,
just going along your day kind of a thing? It felt,
right,
yeah.
right.
You have mentioned that you've gone to therapy. Did you start going to therapy pretty quickly afterward?
Yeah. I think I was like, I've never experienced such trauma, tragedy, like pain and the feelings I was feeling were like so bad.
Yeah.
I was like, I know I need help and I need it like immediately. And so it was very soon after. I mean,
Okay.
within a couple of weeks for sure.
Okay. And you were able to find somebody that worked for you.
Yes, which I had never been to therapy, so I didn't really realize that that is a key component of
Yes.
it. Because my husband, on the flip side, had a hard time finding somebody that he connected with, and I didn't understand that because my therapist was so great. And I mean, truly, I feel so blessed now and so lucky, like looking back, because I saw her weekly or every other week for literally 5 years. I mean, she was truly, truly like such a key part of helping me navigate this, and I didn't realize how I that not everybody connects with their therapist and that they're not always the best fit,
Yeah.
and sometimes you have to go through that process multiple times, which is so defeating because the last thing you want to do is tell your story to 10 different
Yep.
people and start all over again. And so I get that that can happen, and so I feel very lucky that yeah.
That is wonderful. Is there anything that you, maybe some things that really helped that the therapist did help you figure out, or anything that she said that helped you give a different perspective on what was happening?
Yeah, I mean, I think like specifically with with how we were grieving, like helping me understand that like, okay, what is it that's important to you and why? Like really like dissecting like
Mm-hmm.
why I needed to do this versus this. Like what would happen if
Mm-hmm.
I talked when we talked before about that I didn't think I could go to my best friend's daughter's first birthday party because Noah died right before his birthday and he didn't get a first birthday. And so she was like, what would happen if you went? Like let's like pretend you're
Like
there
walk through
and
it.
like putting yourself in that situation and what's the benefit of being there and and for me it was like, well, only because it's my best friend and I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. And she's like, well, will she not be your friend if you don't go? If this is going to be so hard for you and so painful for you and you have like so much anxiety about the thought of being there and celebrating, will she not be friends with you? And I was like, well, no. Like she will
She
totally
will.
understand.
Yes.
And so it's just like, okay. So then like she really helped me like give myself grace, I think, to say, like, Jenna, you can do that or you don't have to do that. Like,
Okay.
and like what would happen? What would be the worst thing that could happen? Or like things with my husband. Like he could go golfing, right? Like why does it bother you so much, for instance? And I'm like, well, I don't know, because then I feel like he's not sad and he should just be like sad with me. She's like, but he is processing it in his own way, and like that is the way that he needs to process it. And that is what helps him like get out of his head for a little bit and do something else so that maybe when he comes back to you, he can be in that sad space with you.
Yeah.
But you can't be in that sad space all the time. That's not healthy either. And so just kind of like talking through all these scenarios and like a lot of like, what would that look like if you did that or if you
Mm-hmm.
didn't do that? Like, what would be the outcome? Like, what's the worst outcome? And like, do you feel like you could be open and talk to that person and just say, I can't do that today? And that's okay. And just like let that be okay. Like be
Yeah.
okay with, so that was super helpful for me.
Yeah, those are I remember our therapist doing similar things where it was so helpful to be like, what is the worst thing? And then really getting nitty-gritty and just, are you gonna live through that again? And you're
Right.
like, yeah, I
Right.
will live through
Right.
that.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, super helpful to walk through that. Okay, so you did this foundation. What was the name of the foundation that you
Yeah.
started?
Noah's Memorial SIDS Foundation.
Oh, that is great. And so you guys had, it sounds like you did golf tournaments, you did galas. And you did it for a number of years, is that correct?
Yeah. 10 years. Yep.
10 years. And that's so cool. Like that's
Yeah.
amazing. And raised a lot of money for other organizations at the time that were supporting families of loss.
Right.
I'm assuming that felt really special and that was something that was meaningful for you to talk about him and to
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
celebrate.
think for both of us, it was like obviously primarily a way to honor him and kind of leave this legacy. Like we wanted people to still talk about him and remember him. And we're like, we have this opportunity every year where we gather people around and we talk about him. And even if it's just that one day a year,
Yep.
everybody says his name, like that made us so happy. And it was kind of like our way. I think you have to like find ways to still feel like you're parenting that child that you
Yes.
lost, and it comes through your ways that you honor them. And so, like I mentioned, my husband was a big golfer. I've like never golfed a day in my life, so I
You're like
never
golf
even
tournament.
been to a
Okay.
golf tournament. But we're
Yeah.
like, let's have a golf tournament.
Yeah.
And I guess what? I'm really good at planning a golf tournament now. I learned a lot along the way, but it was so fun. It was so fun to have everybody come together, and it was a lot of work. But it felt so good. And then it felt good to feel like we were giving back. And like we knew that there were organizations that supported us after Noah died and that were like really meaningful on our journey. And so we wanted to be able to give back to those organizations as well.
Yeah, that is fantastic. I know there's a need to parent, and I don't think people realize that because I've mentioned that before. It's like it's hard to parent a child that's no longer here. They're like, "What?
Yeah.
You need to do that?" And you're like, "Yeah, he's still your kid. He's still
Right.
somebody you feel a great love for, and you want to do something to take care of them." And so,
Right. Right.
what a great way to do that. I think that is
Yeah.
wonderful. This podcast is our way of parenting our son. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Exactly.
Just
Exactly.
you just find ways to do it. So,
Yep.
and I am curious now, of your journey into getting into the Child Loss Foundation, because that is where you work currently.
Right.
And you just don't stumble into those kind of things. So
Right.
tell me a little bit how that evolved.
Sure. So, okay, the organization, the Child Loss Foundation used to be Faith's Lodge. And Faith's Lodge is a retreat center in Wisconsin for specifically for grieving parents.
Yeah.
And they provide retreats all year round that parents can come to and connect with other grieving parents. And so it was honestly like a month after Noah died, one of our friends had told us about Faith's Lodge and that they were having a weekend specifically for families that had lost a child to SIDS, and that they had an opening. If we were interested in going, they would help us get signed up. And we're so lost on this
Yeah.
journey of like what we were supposed to be doing. And the only people that understand are the people that have gone through what you've gone through, right? Friends and family are like so amazing, but nobody can understand quite like somebody who has gone through exactly what you have gone through. So we like jumped at the opportunity to go, and it was only a 2-hour drive, and we didn't really know anything about it. We are just like, yep, sounds good. We'll do that. And we got there, and it is like this enormous lodge in the peaceful woods of Wisconsin
Oh,
that was built specifically for this purpose. So like every
really?
thought that the founders had of like how to take care of grieving parents was like thought through and personally like manifested into this space. It's just so incredible. It's also on like 72 acres of land. So you're just kind of like feel like you're in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
which is exactly where you need to be at this time of like, don't want to go to a store. I don't want hustle and bustle. Don't want to be around a lot of people. I just want to be with people who understand. And so there's 8 families that can stay there at a time. And so we met 7 other couples,
Yeah.
and they had all lost children like us. And people were at different places in their journey. Some had been a few years out, some were very recent. People were from all different states. We like also thought that everybody was going to be from Minnesota or Wisconsin, and they weren't. They
Everywhere.
came all over. And it was like a weekend filled with bonding with these complete strangers that we have nothing else in common, truly, other than the fact that we all lost a child in the same way. And it was everything that we ever needed. It was like the feelings that you feel, like some of these horrible thoughts that you're like terrified to say out loud, of like how you feel. Like I wanted to like lay down by Noah's grave and have it like swallow me whole. Like I remember like
Yep.
and I like felt like I could say that out loud there. And I felt like it was like the safe space with these people that like anything I said, they were like, yes, I get like I
Yeah.
feel that too. And then you're like, you do? Like, oh my God, I'm
Yes.
not crazy. Like I haven't lost my mind. I'm
Yes.
not like this total lunatic now. So it was just this like magical weekend of feeling accepted in our loss, like feeling safe, feeling like we're able to talk about Noah, like share these stories about our kids, and like actually like laugh and find joy,
Yes.
which is so weird because you feel really bad doing that. But then I don't know, it's like it was joyful to be able to like talk about our kids together
Yeah.
with people that just truly, truly understood it. And being away, and they have like grief counselors and
Yeah.
like yoga and mindfulness and massage and like memorial. We painted these rocks like that we like left then by this stream. And like the whole idea is that they have these painted rocks all over the property with like children's names on them. And the idea is that parents come and paint a rock in memory of their child and then leave it there so that the next people that come can see all the people that have come before them, right? And it's just
Yeah.
this beautiful, like,
Yeah.
because again, I keep saying it, but I think like the most important thing is that you're not alone. You're not alone on this journey. And grief can be so isolating. And so, anyways, that's a long story, but that was like the most transformative experience for us. And we were like, that was incredible. And
Yeah.
we were like forever indebted to this place that helped us so much. And so Faith's Lodge became one of the organizations that we gave back to with Noah's events.
Yeah.
And so we got to know the team over the years, and we actually dedicated one of the guest suites at Faith's Lodge to Noah, like in his
Oh,
name. So
that's
there's like a Noah's room at Faith's Lodge, and it just became such a special place to us. And then fast forward several years later, it was still kind of in this place where I was like, my job doesn't have as much meaning anymore. Like I'm not sure that I like am loving what I'm doing. Things
right.
shift, right? When you
Yes,
have
they
such a big loss,
yes.
and you're like, what I thought was like the coolest thing ever is like no longer the coolest thing ever. And it just and
Yep.
it just changes. And but I kind of thought, well, we do these events, we do these things for Noah. Like that's my way of like putting purpose into the world. So I'll just continue to work and do my job and whatever and move forward. But as I got to know Faith Lodge better, I learned that they had an opportunity to join. They asked me to join the board of directors. And
Oh,
I was so flattered. I was so honored. And I was like, yes, this is it. Like, this is how I'm going to like find purpose. Like, I'll do my day job and that will be fine. But I can join the board of this organization that helped us so much. And like, now I can help them and that will feel so meaningful. And at my first board meeting, they announced that they were going to be hiring for a fundraising position. And so I was like, oh my God, I'm like, it's getting better and better.
I can do
I,
this.
and I was like, in my head immediately, I'm hearing this and now I'm on the board, right? So I'm like,
Uh-huh.
okay, that sounds great. And the meeting ended and I went to the executive director and I was like, so outside of this little foundation my husband and I have started, and the events that we've done, I don't really have fundraising experience. I've never worked for a nonprofit. But I've worked in a lot of, businesses, big corporations, marketing, like I've run the gamut of things
Yeah.
that I've done. I'm like, I'm meant to do this. Like this, I'm meant to be here and have this, like the stars are aligning, like the sky is opening up, like all the things that are
Seriously.
supposed to happen. So I was like, hire me, like hire me.
Please. Yes.
And anyways, so long story short is I started working for Faith's Lodge in January of 2016. So it's been 10 years now.
Yeah.
And it's been so phenomenal to be able to do what I do every day. And now it's like this big way of honoring Noah, but like more importantly, I get to help so many
Yeah.
families that walk through our doors, and feel like we're making a difference in their life and on their grief journey. Faith's Lodge opened in 2007 and has been like the only dedicated grief retreat center in the country
Yeah.
since then, which is so incredible. And we've been growing and expanding and trying to find more ways to help grieving parents. And so last year, we actually partnered and merged with another organization and renamed to the Child Loss Foundation.
Yeah.
So we are now called the Child Loss Foundation, and we help families at retreats at Faith's Lodge. And then our other service is that we help provide financial assistance for grieving parents after their loss to help with things like funeral expenses, medical bills, headstones, memorials. I mean, all of these things are so expensive and typically a very unplanned
Yes.
expense for people and can cost, tens of thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And so we provide financial assistance right now just to families in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
But the goal is within the next year or two for sure that will expand to other states and then nationwide. But as we have more funding to do so, but really trying to make meaningful gifts for families so that they can lift a little bit of that financial burden as well.
Yeah, because it's one of those things that people don't realize it that you lost a child, and then there's all these other ancillary things that are like, oh, and I have to pay for this bill that I
I
was
mean,
not
even like I
expecting.
received a bill for an ambulance because an
Oh,
ambulance
yes.
brought Noah to the hospital from
Yeah.
daycare.
Yeah.
I want to say it was like $500 16 years ago, and we
But
didn't have a lot of money. I was like,
yeah,
and he died.
and he
So if I
died.
have to pay for this bill, you didn't even save him. Like
Yeah.
I have to pay for this. Like it was, and it's just another reminder of like, I don't know, it's awful.
Yes.
So I think about some of those situations. And then, I mean, a funeral is so expensive
So expensive.
and sometimes people are out of work
Yeah.
for a while as well, right? So we've helped make mortgage payments for families, and or we've provided counseling, money for counseling for families. And so just being able to, the idea is that we can help families in however we can, and that money is not a factor.
Yeah. That is huge because sometimes, like you said, everybody else goes on. You've stopped and yeah, you might be out, you might not be working for 4 weeks and
Right.
or you might get laid off because they think your performance is not where it needs to be. And
Yep.
they're yeah, that is really so cool. Like, what a great resource for those who are going through this. Jenna, I'm just curious, how would somebody, if they were in a situation like this, or somebody is listening to this and are wanting to reach out for a friend or reach out and let somebody know about a retreat, how is the best way to find those resources?
Yeah. I mean, so all of our resources and what we do can be found at childlossfoundation.org. But
Okay.
I would be happy to help anybody, personally help their friend or family member. A lot of times we have people call and, just say, this happened and how do I best support them? And we have opportunities to purchase gift certificates to a retreat. So somebody could buy a gift certificate and gift it to a family.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And then those never expire. So, because some people feel like they're ready for something like that right away, and for some people it might be years even.
Yeah.
And those never expire, and that's a really great way to again feel like you're doing something for
Mhm.
somebody, like you're helping, but you don't know how to help, and so you're saying there's this place, it's really incredible. Here's a gift certificate to go there. Otherwise, we can help put them in touch with our resources. And we try to do a good job, even if it's a service that we don't provide,
Of just
helping
trying to
connect
find
them with the
something.
right organization that would help them. Or if it's, we have a directory of, well-trusted therapists, things like that too, that are really hard to navigate. And so we really try to, even if it's like not a direct service that we provide, we really try to do whatever we can to help point somebody in the right direction so that they can get the support that they need.
Oh, that's so good. I also want to say it sounds like that if we wanted to, like if somebody wants to help the
Mhm.
foundation, there's ways to donate. There's ways to maybe do a gift certificate in anonymously so somebody can attend.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. We have actually a number of different ways. I mean, of course, you can make a monetary donation.
Hmm.
We have a lot of memorial opportunities as well, which I think is
Oh,
really special for families that have lost a child and want to do something maybe in memory of their own
yeah.
child, but like
Yeah.
give back to an organization. So we have like memorial bricks and benches and things like that that are like lined around the property at Faith's Lodge. That would then be engraved with your child's name. Those are really special. We have two big events a year, of course. I mean, they're more local. Anybody could donate to them, but we have a gala in October and a walk in June. And so those are really great. The walk, I would say, though, has become that's the one thing COVID did for us, has really helped expand our walk to a hybrid event where
Uh-huh.
a lot of people come, in person to our walk in Minnesota, but people can participate from wherever they are in any
Yeah.
country and like create a team in memory of their child and walk together that day in memory of somebody from, wherever they are. So it kind of makes it really unique in a way that you can kind of participate no matter where you are.
Yeah. And yeah, I like the idea of getting a little team together and just like,
Yeah,
let's do
yeah,
this.
right.
That is that is fantastic. Jenna, this has been such a wonderful conversation. I'm so grateful for what you guys do, first of all, and then also for your contribution because of Noah. I just think that is such what a wonderful legacy that you've
Yeah,
given to him too, just for being who you are and loving him and wanting him to be known to the world. So
yeah.
I think that's
Thank
wonderful.
you. Thank you.
Um, as we close up, is there any last things that you wanted, anything, any advice or anything that you would like to share with our audience that may be helpful?
Yeah, well, I do want to share one thing that I thought was really, really important and helpful to my husband and I. And it kind of goes along with like this need, people want to help and they're not really sure
Mhm.
what they can do after a loss. And obviously, this is not going to be an earth-shattering thing that I shared, but that the need that people need meals, right? That
Yeah.
and I do think it's very common that they're like, hey, let's set up a meal train, whatever we can, and let's set Jenna and Scott up with meals. And so our friends did that for us, and that was phenomenal. And we had meals delivered literally every day for months and months and months. I mean,
Oh,
it was
wow.
like, it was
That's amazing.
incredible. But it was honestly like the single best way I think that somebody could help, because it's really hard. Again, it was, I couldn't go to a grocery store. This was not in a time where we had like
Go
shipped or grocery
Yes,
delivery or even
exactly.
grocery pickup. You had to like physically go in the store. So I get that that's a little bit easier now, but again, it's like you have to really think through like what are the groceries that I need, and do I have to make something like, your brain is at such a small capacity of being able to think through those everyday tasks that it's
Yes.
like to just take that burden off of a family. So I'm like a huge fan of meals, or even like DoorDash gift cards, things like that. I think are so, so helpful.
Yes.
But the one thing I wanted to share where I felt like our friends took it one step further, and now it probably depends on where you live and time of year for like weather. This was, fall in Minnesota, so it was fairly cool outside, but they put a cooler outside on our front step
Oh,
and set it up where they said, you're just going to drop the meal in the cooler. Like, do not ring the doorbell. Do not, like, they will know what's coming every day. They'll know who it's coming from, but you're just going to put it in the cooler and then you're going to leave. And it was the best because
yeah.
I don't want to talk to all these people. Like, I love you and I'm super grateful for you, but like we don't have the
It,
capacity for that. And if we knew that somebody was coming that day that we did really want to talk, like we have the opportunity, of course, to do that. But otherwise, it's just like clockwork. The meals just showed up in the cooler
oh,
and we didn't have to talk to anybody. And I was so grateful for that because, as you can tell, I like to talk, but at this time, I did not want
yeah.
to talk to anybody at all. Like outside of my, our close friends or family, like, nope. And people come out of the woodwork. So like
Yeah.
my old friend that I haven't seen since middle school, it just like, I don't want to talk to you. No
Yeah.
offense, but like,
Yeah. No,
so
you just don't
I'm
have the
super thankful
capacity.
for the meal that you drop off. So thankful. But I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was like, I just wanted to share that as a little piece of advice because it was really meaningful to us, the meals, and then just really just knowing that they're there, and it
Yeah.
was like as easy as possible for us.
Yes. Yeah, because you do not want to, you just kind of want to become a little turtle and just kind of go into
Yeah.
yourself for a minute. So,
Yeah.
Jenna, thank you. That is like a bonus. Like that is a good bonus tip right
Yeah.
there. So,
Yeah. So I share
um,
that with everybody
that
because
is
for
fantastic.
any type, I mean, that really goes for any type of loss, right?
Yes,
Doesn't.
exactly. If you're supporting them that way, meals are huge, and then just the not needing to, you don't need to interact because it really is hard to interact sometimes when you're after a loss. So,
Right. Right.
Jenna, thank you so much again. We'll have resources in the show notes for the Child Loss Foundation and how you can donate, or if you want to purchase something for somebody, that is a great opportunity to do that. So, thank you again, Jenna.
Yeah. Thank you.
Are you noticing your car insurance rate creep up even without tickets or claims? You're not alone. That's why there's Jerry, your proactive insurance assistant. Jerry handles the legwork by comparing quotes side by side from over 50 top insurers so you can confidently hit buy. No spam calls, no hidden fees. Jerry even tracks rates and alerts you when it's best to shop. Drivers who save with Jerry could save over $1,300 a year. Don't settle for higher rates. Download the Jerry app or visit jerry.ai/libsyn today. That's jerry.ai/libsyn.